In today's video, I'm going to tell you which 4 narratives I believe you need exposure to this cycle, as they will likely see the greatest pumps. And I'm also going to give you some hidden narratives that people are completely ignoring that can provide a lot of upside. But first, I have to warn you that if you're in the wrong narratives in crypto, you're making a big mistake. I can't even express to you in words how important it is to be in the right narratives, but I'm going to give it a go. Since this bull run has started in January of 2023, it's been the most important factor to consider when you buy an altcoin. Now, before I get into this video, please remember that nothing here is financial advice. So I've already explained to you in many videos what happens to narratives and their life cycles, and also what happens to your money if a narrative goes cold. The greatest example is the BRC20 narrative. It had insane pumps during December, but after the Bitcoin ETF launched, it never saw those highs again. And all of the coins that influencers were shilling you, saying they were the future of Bitcoin finance, went to zero and they'll pretty much never recover. There's many other cases from 2023 such as GambleFi, Perp Dex tokens, and so many things where if you accumulated them in the bear market, you're actually down 70 to 80%. Think about how crazy that statement is and what it shows you regarding how in crypto, narrative is everything. So here are the key things you need to do. You need to know which narratives have a high probability of capturing mindshare in advance, because we don't want to buy the tops. You need to know how far a narrative can extend before it runs out of buyers. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. Because I believe with the current conditions that we have in the market, with every narrative selling off, that represents a really big opportunity. So make sure you really pay attention to this video. First up, no surprise, we've got AI. This narrative has actually been strong since this bull run has started, and I can't say the same for memes or RWA. And the reason for that is AI is actually a new narrative for this cycle, and the market loves novelty. And it's also really easy for retail to grasp, and importantly, it's an exciting narrative. In terms of bullish catalysts, the main ones are the new ChatGPT upgrades. Around early Q4 of this year, I expect to rotate a lot of my portfolio into AI to play this narrative. The AI coins that I like the most at the moment are Near and Octospace as a higher risk gamble. Now, I made this video last month where I called out a bunch of AI low caps and I said they're basically trash. And if you look at some of the price action, I've been proven right. So what I think happens is all of the low cap AI tokens that I've put in C tier and below, influencers will abandon because they've probably already took profit and they've got a lot of bag holders now. And it's going to be the new coins with new, fresh, intrinsic narratives and partnerships that are going to be the low caps to play. And that's what I'll be on the lookout for. And I'll make an updated version of this video in the future. Now, if you hold AI tokens, make sure you watch to the end because I've actually got a warning regarding the AI narratives and the big risks that come alongside it. But first, next up, we've got Politify, which borrows from the memecoin narrative. This entire sector is less than $1 billion in market cap, and in October and November, it's going to be a narrative with a large percentage of attention. I believe it's a narrative that's simply unignorable. Any Trump-related coins should do well, and 1 to 2 weeks before the election results, I would start taking profit. Now, we've seen what happened with Trump and how MAGA reacted. Once this cools off a bit, it will be a really good token to accumulate, and that's what I plan to do. I first brought this on the channel at around $4 and it went to $16. I think being able to accumulate around $6 or this sort of range low would be a really good play. And I believe MAGA is the king of this narrative, definitely one to keep on your watch list. The reason I'm so bullish on this narrative is the attention that the US elections command is crazy. Even in the UK, we talk about it a lot, so it's a worldwide thing. And whatever enters the crowd mindshare is what pumps the most. So right now, the key edges with this narrative is it's got a small market cap. It will have the most attention of any narrative in crypto before the elections. People are still fading meme coins. In general, Q4 is historically really bullish according to the 4-year cycle. Most critically, you still have time to accumulate. There's no point in me talking about narratives if you can't even get in because it's too late. But I think this narrative will give another opportunity to get in. So do not let this get off your radar. The next key narrative is memes. Of course it is. I know this sounds obvious, but let me explain to you fully what I think happens with meme coins. I've been saying not to ignore meme coins since before they got so popular, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but people are still ignoring them. But it actually logically makes total sense. People work hard at their jobs and they make sacrifices so they can invest in crypto and try and get a better life. And the concept of putting that money into something that has no inherent value or isn't legit is something that a lot of people just can't get over. And I think that represents an opportunity for those who are willing to take that plunge early before the prices are way too high. Because you win in crypto and in life in general when you do things that other people simply aren't willing to do. So if there's still people in the market, which there are, who cannot get over that psychological barrier of buying meme coins, that represents an edge, an opportunity for you to make money. I'm of the belief that price action is king, and when the meme coin market cap does go high enough, people who weren't able to overcome that psychological block of buying them will eventually capitulate. And by that point, it'll probably mark the top for memes. So this is my thesis for meme coins in a nutshell. Firstly, it allows people to dream of big multipliers. With the way these high FTV VC coins are launching, people can't really dream of making a lot of money on them. But when they see a low market cap meme coin, they can dream of it going to 100x because they've seen it happen before this cycle. And the fifth reason I'm so bullish on meme coins is it's so addictive. The DJ chat in my Discord has almost 500,000 messages. So in this case, it just becomes a question of what meme coins should you buy. And for that, I'm going to have to do a proper deep dive of the meme coin sector and release a tier list video for you. So subscribe now if you already haven't so you don't miss that. A lot of people ask me this question, so I might as well answer it. But my favorite meme coin has been Pepe from the start. Next up, we've got RWA, which is only $8 billion in total market cap, which if you compare to AI and meme is really small. I'm not going to bore you. You already know why this is a bullish narrative. I feel as though BlackRock putting $100 million onto ETH was just a test for what they plan to do. I doubt they'd put 100 mil into a fund and then just not do anything again. So the next time there is significant movement regarding BlackRock, it's going to send all the RWA tokens again. And just as a reminder, Ondo went 3 to 4x after that announcement, and a lot of the RWA low caps went 7 to 10x in just 1 to 2 weeks. And you know, if the real bull run was here, Ondo would have went 7 to 8x and all the RWA low caps would have gone 20x plus. And this is exactly why I've been saying to you that narrative is king. It's the single most important thing I would focus on if I was a retail investor and I had 1 to 2 hours to focus on crypto. I honestly get excited when I think about how crazy the real bull run is going to be when it comes. And that's not just me giving you hopium. We're still 1 year behind 2021 as per the 4-year cycle. So it doesn't even make sense to have seen the craziness of 2021 just yet. So for RWA, I think short term, there's no coin that beats Ondo purely from a narrative perspective. They've got the golden goose with their association with BlackRock. And also because the truth is, this is not a 1.6 billion market cap project. Right now, this figure is wrong. It's a 400 million market cap project. But I'm going to release a video regarding Ondo in 2 days, explaining what I mean by this. If you hold Ondo, please do not miss that video. However, I have found what I believe to be the greatest RWA coin. It has the tokenomics, it has the right things needed to pump. If you think about Ondo and how people will be afraid of these unlocks, it's going to be important to have that next RWA play ready. So if you want to know which RWA coin I'll be accumulating, I'm going to be announcing it in my premium research service at the end of this week as a portfolio alert. Right now, the price is $75 a month for the first few people. Once you get in at this price, you'll be able to keep it forever. But I'm limiting it to just a few spots. After this, I'm going to gradually increase it as we progress into the bull run. So if you want access to all of my research, all the new coins I buy and sell for the next phase of the bull market, then make sure you get in before these spots go. And look, I can understand people being not too pleased with me gatekeeping my research like this, but I had to scan through all of these projects and it took an incredible amount of time to just find one special project out of all of these. Now for this last part, I'm going to give you some special mentions to narratives that could surprise us and we still have to pay attention to. The first being the base narrative. I think it's such a simple and easy concept for people to grasp, which is what you need in crypto. Firstly, you've got the association with Coinbase, which gives it that stamp of legitimacy. And then you've also got the narrative of people believing that 100 million people will come onto Coinbase wallet and buy all their bags. Secondly, we've got gaming. Now, a lot of people have become really bearish on this narrative recently, which means there is a lot of opportunity. I believe the key question to ask with gaming is, what's going to be the stimulus that forces it back into the crowd's mindshare? And I think if GTA 6 released this year, that would have been the ultimate catalyst for gaming tokens, but it's coming in fall of 2025. So I believe gaming could have a vicious pump at the end of the cycle. In fact, it could be the greatest pump out of all the narratives because it has all the right ingredients. It has the 4-year cycle coinciding with fall 2025. So that should be a euphoria phase anyway. And then you've got the biggest, most anticipated game of history launching at that time too. The issue then becomes, what can come in between now and fall 2025 to pump this narrative? And in that case, what you're holding out for is some sort of an announcement like how BlackRock Fund really sent all RWA tokens. You'll need something of that nature with crypto gaming. Third, we've got the Tony ecosystem. It's a similar kind of thesis to Base. It's at $2 billion for this entire ecosystem and is something worth paying attention to. And fourth, we've got evil VC tokens. These are tokens like Saga that launched and have got down minus 80%. Remember, there's still people with a vested interest in pumping these. And with sentiment being so bad on these sorts of VC tokens, that means people aren't exposed to them. And again, that represents an opportunity. Now, ultimately, with these narratives, it comes down to what are the risks. The key risk with any narrative that you always have to pay attention to is, how do you react if a new narrative steals all the attention? How do you know when you've reached the saturation point for each narrative? These are all the key questions you need to ask yourself to play this cycle well. And you also need to be able to recognize when one narrative is stronger than the other ones in terms of price action. That tells you that there's big buyers in the market for that narrative. So there is a lot of things to do here. Being early to narratives and also finding the best coins within each narrative is the bread and butter of my service. On Sunday, I'll release that RWA call, and then from there, I'll release my number one meme coin pick. And I'll continue doing that for each of the major narratives. The link to join will be in the pinned comments. Thanks for watching. The next 2 videos will be the Ondo price prediction and then the RWA T list.